I've always admired Denmark's fast and focused approach. You know how to get things done. And that's exactly the kind of spirit that we need right now. Let me focus on 5 topics. The first is defense. Indeed, Denmark knows what it means to stay alert. You're faced with Baltic tensions and Arctic competition. You've steadily ramped up your capabilities. And therefore, it is no coincidence that I presented our Readiness 2030 strategy at the Royal Danish Military Academy in March. Now, I count on you to help deliver it. We have already started working on the roadmap for readiness for the European Council. That's the task for the European Council in October. It is about how we invest. And for this, we will identify the capability gaps and work with member states on common European projects for joint procurement. Because defense readiness is not just about how much we spend, but it's a lot about how we spend the money. On defense, the Danish presidency will play a crucial role. You will ensure the implementation of SAFE. You know, that is our 150 billion joint procurement investment program. Going forward, this means that member states should provide an estimate of their needs by the end of the month. And this is necessary to unlock loans. We will then need to receive industry investment plans. During your presidency, we also aim at finalizing the participation of close allies to SAFE. That starts with the UK, for example, and Canada. This is so important for us because with that we get the strategic depth we need. Beyond SAFE, I also count on you to advance another major initiative, and this is our Defence Readiness Omnibus, to lift barriers and build an EU-wide market for defence. My second point, competitiveness. It is a key priority for Denmark and for Europe. 9 months have passed since Mario Draghi has presented his report. A lot has been put in motion since then. Just briefly and not comprehensive, the competitiveness compass, the clean industrial deal, 5 omnibuses, the 6th one is going on the road next week. The AI gigafactories, quantum strategy, startup and scale-up strategy, the new state aid framework, I just mentioned SAFE. And here again, Denmark's result-oriented mindset will ensure that we continue delivering on this agenda. We know that entrepreneurs struggle to access the risk capital they need, so we need a major push on our European Savings and Investment Union, and this will be one of our shared priorities. Second stumblestone we have in our competitiveness is that we have to drive down the structurally too high energy costs. So we will present plans to upgrade Europe's grid, the storage capacity and interconnections. As you know, these are critical enablers of a successful clean transition because we produce a lot of energy, but it's difficult at the moment being either to store it properly or to send it where it is needed. And we will work with your presidency to include the 2040 climate targets into European law. We presented them yesterday together with the enabling components. These 2040 climate targets will provide the predictability for business that they need to invest, and it will pave the way to climate neutrality by 2050. So we stay the course on our goals, but important for us is to be on our way, flexible, adaptable, and very pragmatic. So we count on the Danish presidency to progress our single market strategy, drive forward our simplification agenda. In our discussion, one commissioner said we sent 1 omnibus per month on the road this year. So we hope that we can have 1 omnibus per month getting to its destination so that the business sector really sees this is making a difference. That covers our European homework. Equally important, our global trade partnership. And this is my third point. As you know, the negotiations with the United States are ongoing as we speak. Commissioner Šefčovič is in Washington today. I just want to say we are ready for a deal. We want a negotiated solution. But you all know that at the same time we're preparing for the possibility that no satisfactory agreement is reached. This is why we consulted on a rebalancing list, and we will defend the European interest as needed. In other words, all the instruments are on the table. We are moving forward with our partners. So we want to see results during this presidency on our agreements with Mercosur, Mexico. Hopefully we have them by the end of the year. India. In today's economic landscape, Europe carries an important responsibility. Our responsibility is to champion a free and open and a fair trading system. Therefore, we fully support the reform progress of WTO, and in parallel, we pursue a structured cooperation with the CPTPP, these are the Pacific countries behind this abbreviation, to tap into the vast potential that is there of a rules-based trade. Fourth point is migration. We have a pact for asylum and migration, and that's good. Now we have to implement it. And we know that we need more to face the challenges we have. That's why we have worked on the operational side. So on one side is the legal part, the Pact for Migration and Asylum has to be implemented. But then we have the operational side. Under your presidency, we can make progress on our return proposal, on safe third countries concept and the safe countries of origin. And my fifth point, indeed, certainly not last but not least, is Ukraine. I'm very glad that later today we'll have the meeting with President Zelensky. You said rightly so, we have to put pressure on Putin that he comes to the negotiation table. Therefore, the 18th package of sanctions, one of the first deliverables in the Danish presidency. And yes, achieving a just and lasting peace in Ukraine remains the key priority, because Ukrainians are fighting not just for their sovereignty, but also for us, for our freedom, for our values. And we know that we can never match their sacrifices, but what we can do is stand united, determined, and resolute by Ukraine, not just for as long as it takes to secure peace, but to give them the chance, the opportunity to have the country they are dreaming of. And that is a country that masters its own destiny, its own future. A country that is a member of the European Union. Thank you very much.